Imagine a streak across the sky, faster than sound, invisible to the most advanced radars on Earth. It locks onto its target from hundreds of miles away, unleashes a barrage of precision strikes, and vanishes before anyone even knows it's there. But this isn't science fiction, it's the reality of a machine so lethal, it's designed to end wars before they begin. And hidden in the shadows of America's most secretive programs, this jet isn't just deadly. It's the apex predator that could redefine global power forever. Picture the scene, a vast ocean expanse in the Pacific, where tensions simmer between superpowers. A fleet of enemy ships glides through the waves, protected by layers of air defense systems. Radars sweeping the horizon for any sign of threat. Suddenly, without a whisper, a ghost appears on the edge of their sensors too late. Missiles rain down, drones swarm like angry hornets, and in seconds, the balance shifts. This is no ordinary aircraft. This is the culmination of decades of blood, sweat, and billions of dollars poured into the art of aerial dominance. We're talking about the F-47, the next generation air dominance fighter, the deadliest jet ever designed. But to understand why it's so terrifying, we have to go back to where it all started, to the smoky skies of World War II. When the roar of propellers gave way to the scream of jets, it was 1944. Deep in the heart of Nazi Germany's crumbling empire, engineers in secret bunkers were racing against time, desperate to turn the tide of a losing war. Out of that desperation came the Messerschmitt Me 262, the world's first operational jet fighter. With its twin Junkers Jumo engines, it sliced through the air at speeds topping 540 miles per hour, faster than anything the Allies had. Allied pilots, accustomed to dogfights with Spitfires and Mustangs, suddenly found themselves outmatched. The Me 260 could swoop in, fire its 30mm cannons, and disappear before you could even turn. It claimed over 500 kills in its short service life. But here's the twist most people don't know. Hitler himself delayed its production, insisting it be converted into a bomber instead of a fighter. That blunder might have saved the Allies from even more devastation. Yet, even in its limited numbers, the Me 260 proved jets were the future, faster, higher, deadlier. Across the Atlantic, the Americans weren't far behind. As the war ended, captured German technology flooded into U.S. labs, sparking a frenzy of innovation. The Lockheed P-80 Shooting Star emerged in 1945, America's first jet fighter, clocking in at 600 miles per hour. It was rushed into service during the final days of the Pacific Campaign. But its real test came in the brewing Cold War. The Soviet Union, snatching their own share of Nazi secrets, unveiled the MiG-15 in 1949, a swept-wing monster that dominated the skies over Korea. In the frozen altitudes above the Yalu River, American F-86 Sabres clashed with MiGs in the first jet-versus-jet combats. Pilots like James Jabara became aces, racking up kills in brutal, high-speed duels. But the MiG-15's edge in climb rate and firepower forced the U.S. to rethink everything. This wasn't just about speed anymore. It was about survival in a new era where the Iron Curtain divided the world, and air superiority meant the difference between freedom and subjugation. As the 1950s dawned, the second generation of jets exploded onto the scene, pushing boundaries into the supersonic realm. Enter the F-100 Super Sabre, the first U.S. fighter to break Mach 1 in level flight. Its afterburner roared like thunder, propelling it to 864 miles per hour. But speed came at a cost. Early models were plagued by stability issues, earning the nickname Widowmaker after a string of crashes. Engineers tinkered relentlessly, adding yaw dampers and stronger wings, turning it into a reliable workhorse for Vietnam. Meanwhile, the Soviets countered with the MiG-19, armed with cannons and early air-to-air missiles. Capable of Mach 1.3, these jets weren't just machines, they were pawns in a global chess game. The U.S. poured millions into development, funded by a booming post-war economy, while the USSR relied on sheer numbers and espionage. Spy planes like the U-2 captured glimpses of Soviet airfields crammed with MiGs, fueling paranoia and accelerating the arms race. But the real game-changer was the integration of missiles. Gone were the days of close-quarters gunfights. Now, pilots could engage from miles away. The AIM-9 Sidewinder, heat-seeking and deadly, debuted in 1956, revolutionizing combat. Imagine the tension. A pilot spots a blip on radar, locks on, and fires a streak of fire hurtling toward its prey. In the Taiwan Strait crisis of 1958, U.S. supplied Sidewinders on Taiwanese F-86S shredded Chinese MiGs, proving the tech's worth. This shift marked the dawn of beyond visual range warfare, but it also exposed vulnerabilities. Early missiles were unreliable in bad weather or against maneuvering targets, leading to knife fights where skill still reigned supreme. By the 1960s, third-generation jets like the F for Phantom II dominated. This beast, with its twin engines and massive payload, could carry 18,000 pounds of bombs and missiles. It served in every branch of the U.S. military, from Navy carriers to Air Force bases. In Vietnam, Phantoms flew over 5,000 sorties, dropping napalm and engaging in epic dogfights with North Vietnamese MiG-21s. The MiG-21, sleek and agile, nicknamed Fishbed by NATO, was a fraction of the Phantom's cost, but deadly in skilled hands. Ace pilot Nguyen Van Kock claimed 9 kills with it, but the Phantom's versatility shone through electronic warfare pods jammed enemy radars. While its speed hit Mach 2.2, behind the scenes, geopolitics simmered. The U.S. funneled billions into Southeast Asia to contain communism, while the Soviets supplied MiGs to Hanoi, turning the skies into a proxy battlefield. What most don't realize is how money drove these advancements. The military-industrial complex, as Eisenhower warned, grew into a behemoth. Companies like McDonnell Douglas lobbied Congress, securing contracts worth hundreds of millions. The F-4 program alone cost $2.4 billion in today's dollars, but it paid off in exports to allies like Israel and Iran, strengthening U.S. influence. Rivalries intensified. The French Mirage 3, with its Delta wings, proved its mettle in the Six-Day War, where Israeli pilots decimated Arab air forces in preemptive strikes. This era taught a harsh lesson. Technology alone wasn't enough. Training and tactics mattered. The U.S. Navy's Top Gun School was born from Vietnam losses, turning pilots into elite warriors. As the Cold War heated up in the 1970s, fourth-generation jets emerged, blending raw power with digital brains. The F-15 Eagle, designed to counter the MiG-25 Foxbat, a Soviet interceptor that screamed at Mach 2.8, became an undefeated legend, with over 100 air-to-air kills and 0 losses in combat. The Eagle's thrust vectoring engines allowed impossible maneuvers. Its radar could track 20 targets at once, firing MRAM missiles from 30 miles out. In the Bekaa Valley Turkey shoot of 1982, Israeli F-15s and F-16s obliterated 82 Syrian aircraft without a single loss, showcasing electronic superiority. The F-16 Fighting Falcon, lighter and cheaper, complemented it perfectly, exported to over 25 countries. But secrets lurked. The MiG-25, once feared, was revealed as a high-speed recon plane with poor maneuverability. When a defector landed one in Japan in 1976, U.S. engineers dissected it, learning Soviet tech weaknesses. Geopolitically, oil crises and détente shifted priorities. The U.S. sold F-14 Tomcats to Iran before the revolution, only to see them turned against American interests. Money flowed. The F-15 program cost $40 billion over its life, funded by taxpayers amid economic stagflation. Power plays unfolded in boardrooms and backrooms, with contractors like Boeing and Lockheed vying for dominance. The Soviet Su-27 flanker, with its supermaneuverability, pushed the envelope, performing the Cobra maneuver, stalling mid-air to flip on attackers. These jets weren't just weapons, they were symbols of national pride and deterrence. Then came the stealth revolution in the 1980s and 90s, the fifth generation. The F-117 Nighthawk, angular and black, slipped through Iraqi radars during Desert Storm, dropping laser-guided bombs with pinpoint accuracy. But the true king was the F-22 Raptor, entering service in 2005. Supercruise at Mach 1.8 without afterburners, vectoring nozzles for agility, and stealth that reduced its radar signature to a golf ball's size. In exercises, One F-22 killed 15 F-15s without being detected. Cost: a staggering $67 billion for 195 units, each at $350 million. Why so? Expensive? Advanced materials like radar-absorbing composites, plus classified avionics fusing data from multiple sensors into a god's-eye view. Rivalries escalated with China's J-20 and Russia's Su-57, both claiming 5th-gen status, but lagging in stealth and engines. The F-35 Lightning II, a multi-role marvel, joined the fray in 2015, with vertical takeoff variants and helmet-mounted displays letting pilots see through the plane. It's exported to allies, binding NATO tighter, but scandals plagued it: trillions in life cycle costs, software glitches, and crashes. Behind it all, lobbying giants like Lockheed Martin influenced policy, securing funds amid budget battles. Now, as we edge into the 2020s, the 6th generation looms: the F-47 NGAD, shrouded in secrecy. Its development began in the 2010s under the Air Force's quest for air dominance against peer threats like China. The Pacific theater, with its vast distances and anti-access bubbles, demands more than the F-22's 600-mile range. Enter the F-47, combat radius over 1,000 nautical miles, speeds above Mach 2, and stealth so advanced it's virtually invisible across spectra. But what makes it the deadliest? It's not just the jet, it's the family of systems. Collaborative combat aircraft, autonomous drones fly as wingmen, extending sensors, carrying extra weapons, and sacrificing themselves if needed. AI processes terabytes of data in real time, predicting enemy moves and suggesting tactics. Directed energy weapons, like lasers, could zap missiles mid-flight. The canard design, with forward wings, enhances agility, while the shovel-shaped nose optimizes airflow and stealth. Sensor fusion evolves. Quantum sensors detect hypersonic threats, and adaptive engines vary cycle for efficiency or power. History echoes here. The F-47 honors the P-47 Thunderbolt of WWII, a rugged ground attacker, and the Air Force's 1947 founding. Politically, it's tied to the 47th President, Donald Trump, who championed its funding. Announced in 2025, Boeing won the $20 billion initial contract, beating Lockheed. Amid fierce competition, geopolitics drives it. China's J-20 fleets and hypersonic missiles threaten U.S. carriers, while Russia's invasions highlight air power's role. The U.S. spends $1 trillion yearly on defense, but critics argue it's a money pit, with costs ballooning due to rare earth minerals from volatile regions. Hidden facts abound. Test flights of X-planes like the YF-118G gathered hundreds of hours, refining designs in secret Nevada skies. Rival programs in China, FC-31, and Europe, FCAS race ahead. But U.S. advantages in AI and alliances give an edge. Money's dark side. Contractors profit immensely, with F-35 overruns at 80%, fueling debates on waste versus necessity. Imagine piloting the F-47, your cockpit a holographic. Wonder, AI whispering threats, drones scouting ahead. In a simulated war over Taiwan, it penetrates defenses, neutralizes satellites, and strikes command centers undetected. But danger lurks. Cyber vulnerabilities could hack its networks, or economic sanctions disrupt supply chains. As tensions build, the F-47's adaptability shines. Modular design allows quick upgrades, reducing downtime from the F-22's 50% availability. Lower life cycle costs promise sustainability, but at what price to taxpayers? Power dynamics shift. Exporting tech to allies like Japan strengthens coalitions, while denying it to adversaries maintains superiority. If this is already blowing your mind, take a second to like the video and subscribe. It really helps the channel keep uncovering these hidden stories. Escalating further, consider the human element. Pilots train in virtual realities, merging man and machine. But ethical questions arise. AI making kill decisions? Drone swarms overwhelming foes? The F-47 embodies a future where wars are won in code as much as cockpits. Surprises pepper its story. Early concepts included hypersonic capabilities, scrapped for cost, but rumors persist of classified variants. Geopolitical intrigue, espionage attempts by foreign agents, target blueprints echoing Cold War thefts, building tension. Envision a world where the F-47 deters aggression its mere existence, preventing conflicts. Yet, arms races accelerate. China's 6th-gen prototypes fly by 2030, forcing U.S. iterations. Future impact is profound. Air warfare becomes unmanned dominant, reducing pilot risks but raising job losses in aviation. Economically, it boosts jobs 1,650 suppliers for similar programs, but strains budgets amid climate and health crises. In conclusion, the F-47 isn't just a jet, it's the embodiment of human ingenuity and ambition, forged in the fires of history, fueled by trillions, and poised to shape tomorrow. From the Mi-62's desperate debut to this invisible assassin, jets have evolved from crude speed demons to intelligent predators. But with great power comes great responsibility. Will it secure peace or ignite new conflicts? Now the real question is, would you trust a future where machines decide the fate of nations? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more stories like this, subscribe because what's coming next will shock you even more.